What's the difference between finished and complete? Very important to know this difference. I'll give you an example of a story where a woman was finished, but she wasn't complete. I was coaching her about something she wanted to do. She said she wanted to go up in her attic and explore it and clean out everything. But for some reason, she couldn't get herself to do that. So I started asking her, well, what are you trying to do for yourself by not going up in the attic? And finally, after some questions, some explorations, we found that she had gotten divorced 20 years earlier. And her divorce was completely finished. However, she knew if she went up in her attic, she would run across some things that would remind her of her ex-husband and would bring up some upset and some pain. And so that's why she was avoiding going into the attic. So she was finished with her divorce, but she wasn't complete with her divorce. Now I'll give you an opposite story. This was actually with myself. At a certain point in my marriage with my wife, we kept working on things back and forth and trying to work things out. And but one morning, as I was climbing the mountain and talking with one of my friends, I said to my friend, you know, I don't know whether I've already made a decision, which I'm not willing to admit to myself, or I'm just very confused. But I'd like to just talk with you about my marriage and help me think through it. And so he was a good listener and asked me good questions. And at the end of our climbing up the mountain and down the mountain, I had gotten very clear that my marriage was over. Okay? So, and from that point, I was complete. I was complete with my marriage, but I wasn't finished. You know, there was many things to do, to communicate with my wife, to move out of the house, to go through the divorce process, to separate the assets. There was many things to do to get finished. So in that case, I was complete, but I was not finished. Now, of course, these are two big examples, but it's very important to know this difference, because just like, let's say a small task, and you're working on the task, but it's time to do something else, time to go to bed, whatever, and you're not finished. And so if you just try to stop, and unless you can get complete with what you've done, it's going to bother you. You say, oh, I should have kept going, or whatever, where it didn't make sense to keep going. So it's possible that you can actually say, okay, I'm complete with this up until what I've done. I'll continue with it tomorrow or some other time. So in that sense, you're not finished, but you are complete. So the ability to get complete with something, at least temporarily, is very important. Sometimes I make a promise to myself, well, I'm going to work 45 minutes on this project, or until it gets finished, whichever comes first. So if I've worked 45 minutes on it, then I'm complete for today, but I'm not finished. Or if I finished it, then I can also be finished and complete. So this distinction can be very helpful to give you peace of mind and to be able to manage your life in a powerful way. Thank you.